Hi, welcome back to TruePod. Today's podcast is with Lauren at the Little Marketing Company. Another really good conversation where we went through starting out her business from yoga to marketing, her background in understanding and working with small businesses, and then sort of growing from there, from thinking of how to start her business up to naming her business, and then where she is now. Really nice conversation, really nice to talk to. We're actually doing work with her and working with her quite a bit now, just from that conversation. So hope you get a lot from it. We got a lot from it. Like, share, subscribe, all that fun stuff, and we will see you on the next one.
Do I say anything?
No, you can if you want.
So fun.
I'll take this side.
Okay, sure.
Do this one. I never knew what these were before
For the
until I
sound?
started doing it. Yeah,
Match it up.
marry it up. But I was like, yeah, it just looks cool. And then I forgot to record the audio. And I was like, that was a waste of time.
You're like, what? Of course. Yeah, you do what you need to.
So just bring it sort of chest height.
Oh,
Yeah. And then you'll be able to hear yourself, and it's great
I know,
fun.
it really gives me the ick.
You'll forget about it in a second. Right, you good?
Yeah, I'm good.
Okay. So thank you very much for coming to see us.
You're welcome.
It's been a podcast we've been looking forward to, and really looking forward to sort of learning a lot about what you do and what you have done and all that stuff. But if you can just give yourself a little bit of an intro into you and what you do, really.
Of course. My name is Lauren Triano. I run two businesses. The first is called The Little Marketing Company, and I also own a business called The Little Yoga Company. So sister brands. I started The Little Marketing Company, I've just turned 1, so literally a year ago last week. And the yoga company has been around for about 2.5 years.
Cool. So you were the naming, the brand name, the yoga came first.
Yeah, yoga came first. So I was in my corporate job and I knew that I wanted to have a family with my partner, Tom, in the next couple of years. And I knew that I wanted to be flexible around that. And I didn't know what my journey after having a baby would look like. So I decided to go and get a yoga qualification. I thought I could go and do something in marketing, but I've kind of done that. I'm happy with where I'm at. So I did something completely different by going to get a yoga qualification and started classes on the side. Naming a business is the hardest part, right?
Yeah, it's weird.
Like what? We should know what to call our businesses, shouldn't we?
Yeah.
And it's just actually the most difficult part. For those of you who can't see me, I'm 5 foot, so quite small. And I took a walk on holiday. I was with my partner and I was like, I don't know what to call the business. I should know. I'm getting so frustrated. Why don't I know what to call my own business? And he was like, well, you're little, aren't you? I was like, yeah. He was like, and you don't want the business to be massive. Like you want to do it alongside your corporate job potentially. I was like, yeah. He's like, there you go. It's the Little Yoga Company. I was like, that's genius.
It's so simple when you put it like that. But I was the same. I spent like days and days.
Yeah.
And I had like 4 different names. I didn't like any of them.
Yeah.
And only recently, like our True Path isn't like our full company name.
Mm-hmm.
We've just shrunk it down.
Yeah.
Because we kind of a settled one. And actually, I've grown to like it after playing around with it. But it's just so bizarre because you overthink it so much.
So much.
Does it have to describe what you do? Does it have to be a random, like Google? What is Google?
Yeah.
Like it's just a
word.
It's just a word. It's like, isn't it like a Google, like a big number?
Oh, I don't know. Didn't know that.
It might, maybe I made it
Every
up.
day's a school day. I'll
Might
take
have made
it.
it up. But like random stuff. And I'm like Googling random words.
Yeah.
It's just so like you think about it so much and then actually it doesn't matter that much, does it?
No. And people just resonate with it. Like I knew that when it came to marketing, again, I was like, shit. Oh, can I swear? Sorry. I'm like I'm at school. Can I swear? I was like, shit,
You can
what
swear,
do
you can chew gum, you can do whatever
Great,
you
love
want.
this. Unfiltered. Yeah, I was like, I don't know what to call it again. And Tom was like, for fuck's sake, Lauren, just call it the same thing. I owe a lot to Tom, actually. He comes up with a lot of ideas. I should give him more credit.
Sometimes you need someone outside of your own head just to be like, well, can't you just see this?
Yeah, outside
it's
perspective.
just there, yeah.
He was like, you've already got the Little Yoga Company. And I loved my logo and I love my colour palette. And I was like, yeah, I could just literally keep it the same because then I kind of had an established yoga business before marketing. So then when it came to marketing, it was obvious who it was. And people went, oh, actually, I already know the Little Yoga Company. It must be Lauren because it's literally the same branding, the same font, just different colours. So it actually really helped me when I first started out as well.
Yeah, makes sense. Okay, so let's go back a little bit. So you've done So you did yoga before marketing,
Yeah.
and then went back to yoga and then marketing, and it's
Yeah.
tell me the story.
Sure. So I went to university after school in High Wycombe, and I did a business and marketing degree, which was great. I loved it there so much. I ended up staying for a job after for a couple of years because I just loved the community there so much. I didn't want to come back to Bedford just yet. So I basically did a marketing role for the Students' Union, looking after their charitable fundraising and their volunteering, which was great fun. Trying to get students to do volunteering, interesting. But that's where my real love for creativeness came in, trying to find opportunities, matching courses to opportunities in the area, trying to get them to come into community projects and just really like understand that where you live is really important, and if you can help out where you can, then do. So that was really fun. Moved back to Bedford after a couple of years after my job at uni, and started working for the brewery in Bedford at Charles Wells, as it was known then, now Brew Point, in a marketing role, and I was there for 8.5 years. And I loved it. Great fun. Marketing beer, pubs, hospitality.
Yeah.
It's fun. It's not boring. It's not an accountant. No offense to accountants, but you know,
I could not do that.
Don't know how people do it. But yeah, it was so much fun being in hospitality, being in FMCG. Like it was a really, really, really fun time, and just loved being creative with it and working with different types of pubs to market their different services. You know, you've got real backstreet boozers. We had some nightclubs. We had some pubs with great outdoor space. It was really, really fun. And then I had my little boy Archie in 2022. And then I didn't return back to the brewery after that. I decided I was going to go and set up my own business. Alas, the little marketing company.
I think sometimes you need a lot of people when they start their business, it was kind of, I was going to do it. And then something happens. You're like, okay, now it's just the time.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah.
And everything happens for a reason for those things to just be like, right, now let's go.
Yeah, I needed a push, if I'm honest with you. And I did have a push, shall we say. I won't go into it in too much detail, but I would have been there forever. And I loved it. And I was part of the furniture. And if you cut my arm open, I would have led the company and super passionate about them. But I just needed a push to go somewhere else and do something else. And I thought I could use my energy to either fight them in court, or I could go, you know what, shut that door.
Yeah,
I'm all right. I've not been there for a year anyway because I've been on maternity leave. I've not been kept in the loop. I'm going to go and do my own thing. So rather than channel my energy into something negative that would have kept me up at night, and as much as Archie was anyway, because he was only 1 year old, as you know, struggle emotionally through all of it and just worry, be on that like edge all the time. I was like, no, you know what? I'm going to channel all of that energy into something positive and see if I can make a go of it. So I gave myself, this was June, obviously, last year. I gave myself until Christmas last year. I was like, right, 6 months, got a bit of money in savings. Let's just see what happens. If it doesn't work out, it's okay. But I knew that I wanted to try. And then luckily, I'm still here. So I didn't need to spend
all the money and panic. I think I kind of had I haven't really mentioned it before, but I had a similar experience with where I was with work, where I kind of felt pushed.
Yeah.
Felt like I didn't really have much of a choice but to go.
Yeah.
And just go.
Yeah, same.
And I feel like I could have fought it, but I think you've got to make that choice of positive and negative energy.
Absolutely.
Could I spend time
Yeah.
fighting something that at that point in time, there was COVID going on. I wasn't probably in a good headspace to do it. So I think, do I spend that energy on negativity or positivity? Yeah. And then that's where kind of my business came from. It was literally in that moment of what could I do better than what I was doing? And sometimes everyone needs their own push, whether it's a positive one, a negative one, something external happening in your life that makes you think, oh, life's too short, I'm going to do it. Or I've got no other choice, let's do it.
Yeah.
So the first 6 months is different for every business, right? The start of every business. My first 6 months was quiet, is probably to say the least. Wasn't a lot going on. How did you take that sort of, so you've made the decision, like going to the positive view of starting the business, and you've obviously got the good experience and background in it. What was that? Because I think people don't know when to start, when they're starting, and what the best approach is. Yeah. And there's no one size fits all. But what was your take on, I've got 6 months. Was it a sit down and this is what I need by the end of that 6 months? Or this is is it an action plan? Or is it how did you sort of go through that?
It's interesting because from a marketing perspective, we should all have strategy. And it's what I give my clients is, let's have an action plan. Let's see where we get to. I just kind of went with the flow. So with my yoga side and my more holistic side as well, I was like, well, I'm not super hippy dippy. I'm a bit hippy dippy, but it was a bit like, I'm going to see how it goes and just see how it flows. And if it does flow, great. And if it doesn't, it's okay. Like, I'd rather try something than not. But I did a little bit of work when I was on maternity leave anyway. So very fortunate to have both sets of parents. So my parents and Tom's parents around to be able to have Archie for a few hours a day, or for a full day if I needed it, to start to work on the business. So I kind of knew around the 9-month mark that I probably wasn't going to go back. So I thought, why? I'm going to start now. I'm going to start working on the business so that when it comes time to make that decision, I've already actually got a few clients under my belt. So I started that and I had a couple of clients, and then very fortunate that they recommended me to others, and they recommended me to others. And then those people recommended me to others. And then before I knew it, it was like, okay, we're good to go. I can make a go of this. So yeah, I definitely built my business on recommendation, mainly through Instagram. I have a website, but I can't talk about Instagram enough. It's literally been incredible for me. But yeah, I kind of was squirreling away in the background. So really the business is 1 year and 3-4 months, because I started dabbling in it to see if it was something people wanted. Because I didn't know either. Like, I was doing marketing consultancy with the pubs at Brewpoint. That's what I was doing. I was going into pubs and I was saying, right, where do we need to get to? Financially, where do you want to be? What does that equate to in beer, wine, spirit, food, all the split things like that? And I was like, I loved doing that because I could see that I was making a difference to those pubs, not just those pubs, but their families, their lifestyles, their businesses. You know, they most had children, and, you know, they're like, we can go on holiday this year. Great. I was like, that's amazing. Like, you've worked so hard. Well done. Because when you run a business, unless you're a marketing business, you don't have the expertise in marketing, and that's okay. And so I say to all my clients, it's like, you're not supposed to know about marketing. That's why you outsource. Like, it's totally fine.
You can't know everything about everything.
You can't, and you can't wear all the hats. It's literally impossible. So I took that concept of working with pubs because I loved it so much, and I loved seeing the difference I could make in those businesses. And I thought, I can just do that, but replace pubs with other businesses. So started to reach out and do a little bit, I guess you could call me a consultant. I don't really like the word coach that much for me personally. Don't feel it suits me, but just speaking to people about their business. And I found actually a lot of businesses feel quite lonely in that they can't really talk to a lot of people about it, or if they talk to their partners or families, they don't always get it if they're not self-employed or in the industry that they're working in. So it started off a little bit of a consultancy, and then offering a bit of a range of services to them too.
So when you were starting out in that first 3 months before, you were just testing your market, basically. You were kind of putting things on socials, asking questions. Talk me through that process to understand that this has got legs.
Yeah, sure. So I got my nails done by a lovely lady called Claire. Shout out Claire from Cherry Blossom Beauty. And I was on maternity leave, so no pay, a little bit of pay, but it doesn't cover anything, does it, when you're on mat leave? And I loved getting my nails done. It's just a nice little thing for me to do. So she said to me, well, why don't you do my marketing and I'll do your nails for you? I was like, great, little service swap, love that. So I did her social media for a bit, and she got good results, and she was like, this is great, like, you should do it. And I was like, no, I can't. Like, she was like, no, you can do this. Like, I definitely know other people. We were having a conversation before this podcast actually about the rugby club being great for networking. Actually, beauticians are too, because they see, and hairdressers, they see so many people day in, day out who go, oh, I'm struggling with this, or I need this. And Claire just kept saying to people, oh, Lauren will do it. Lauren will do it. Oh, I know Lauren. Do you know Lauren? And I was like, Claire, I'm on mat leave. What are you doing? what are you doing to me? But then, as I started to work with those people, I was like, actually, I can do this. And it was a case of testing the market. So I was actually in a very lucky position that I had time, in inverted commas, with a baby, but childcare at the time, to be able to test the market, see what people wanted, and then really structure my services around that and around what people were after, and being able to ask other friends and people who I knew had businesses and being like, what do you want? If someone were to say to you, I could help with your marketing, what exactly does that look like? Created an Instagram, created a website, and that was that.
How do you find marketing in a lot of companies and a lot of minds is still, it's an intangible a lot of the time, isn't it? There's not necessarily it can take 3, 6, 12 months before you even get one purchase from it, or you grow a following, or you see any sort of, how do you articulate that intangible thing. Do you know what I mean?
It's so difficult. I remember our going back to Brew Point, the chairman of the board at the time would always be like, but what's the return on investment for this? And it's like, I don't know, because did someone buy a pint because they saw the poster that I made them to get them down to open mic night?
Them,
I don't know. Yeah,
it's so difficult.
It's really difficult. I think what I say to my clients is, how are they feeling? And again, I guess this kind of comes into my more holistic side, but if someone does purchase from you, how does that make you feel? And if they know it's come from the marketing that you've done, how does that make you feel? But as long as you're showing up, like, again, I say take marketing out of it and put yourself in the shoes. Like, you are your business, you are your brand a lot of the time. So are you showing up on platforms? Are you putting yourself out into groups and communities? And if you're not, then you can't really expect people to buy from you, because how do they know about you? It's all very mystical, isn't it? If you're just like, well, I'm here and I'm in a salon and I just cut hair. Okay, but how do people find out about you? How do they find directions to find you, and contact details and emails and DMs and all the rest of it? So it is really untangible. But I think I say to clients, keep building on it. And when it feels good, you know that you're doing the right thing. And that often obviously comes with people purchasing or people booking onto class or whatever it might be. But the more that you can do that and you can keep that ball rolling with consistency, the results will show. Yeah. And results are different for everyone. Everyone has to pay their mortgage. I understand that. But sometimes it's more about freedom and flexibility with freelancing work, or having wins in other ways, or getting a nice text message from a client. Do you know what I mean? Like those things. I try and say, find like the glimmers that in your day that make you go, yeah, that makes me feel really good. And you should know that your marketing is working because of it.
Yeah, that's a really good point, because it's not always necessarily about that post equaled that person to the website equaled a sale.
Yeah.
It's, I saw that really cool post about your brand. And that person, so we spoke to a client, he was like, I've got a few people saying to me, I really like that you're doing. And they've never mentioned anything about, they didn't know what I did before. And I think that's that. And it's also with socials and all across, whether you're talking about Facebook or LinkedIn or Instagram, your audience isn't necessarily the audience you think it is, because it could be the person that liked it or commented or shared it. That's four people down that chain.
Yeah.
That then becomes your audience. Does that make sense?
Yeah, 100%. And I think you don't always know who's watching your stuff. Like, I don't look at kind of, if people interact with it, great, but I don't always look at who's looking. But I had a message in my DMs yesterday being like, oh yeah, I saw that post that you did last month talking about whatever it was. Or yesterday I ran a workshop with Lydia, who's been one of your guests on the podcast, and one of my clients was there, and she was like, well, actually, yeah, I saw your story because someone else shared you, and I had this idea for a business, but I wasn't sure about it. Then I saw that you had really limited availability, and I thought, shit, I need to get my act together and book her now, otherwise I'll miss the opportunity. And I was like, I had no idea that's how you became my client. What?
Yeah.
Like, and it's only when people start to say things and you think, oh yeah, maybe that was good. Because people say to me all the time, I don't know what to post. And I say post on stories every day. Stories 100% is like the platform, in my opinion, on Instagram. And they're like, but what do I post? And I'm like, just start posting, because you never know what's going to hit or resonate with different people. Yeah. And then they might need to see 5, 6, 7 times. But once they do and then they convert, amazing. But if you don't do it, you're never going to find them.
So it's a couple of things on that. So firstly, sort of how is the social space is very competitive. So how do you help your clients stand out? And then how do you, like, some people do ask that question, like, I'm just sat in the office all day.
Yeah, what do I post?
What do I post about? How can I make what I'm doing? Because I think it's not necessarily about making what you're doing interesting or fun or different. It's just about being real.
100%.
So how do you sort of stand out and then not take that stigma away of, if you're in the office or you're doing this, that, and the other, it's not what you're posting. It's sometimes telling what you're saying, right?
It's all to do with storytelling, is what I tell my clients. But on the flip side of that, also to be authentic. So exactly what you were saying. If you're not authentic online, it's going to show. It's going to stick out like a sore thumb, and people will get that like, like off feeling, won't they?
People sense that so
easily, because we're human, and even though we're using technology to talk about ourselves, you can just spot it a mile off, and you're like, that just doesn't feel like having an off day, like it doesn't feel very you.
Yeah.
So I always just say to them, be authentic and be you. Danielle Cox, another guest that you've had on previously, she's great at doing it, because when she's high and riding life, she'll show you. If she's had a bit of a low day, she'll also share that.
Yeah.
that's the power of it, is saying, actually, I'm human. Please remember that. I have highs, I have lows, I have good days, I have bad days. But what Danielle does really well, she is a client of mine, but I don't do her socials, is that she brings you on her journey. So, you know, her dog's called Chippy. Shout out Chippy. Never shouted that dog before. You know where her salon is. You know the services that she offers. You know that she has Wellness Wednesdays. Like everyone can tell you
know what the room
about
looks
her.
like. Before you get there, you know exactly what to expect.
Expectations.
It's really clear. And I think to your point as well, she's found the balance really well of showing the highs and the lows, but not it being, look how amazing I am.
It's not salesy.
Yeah, or look how, this is just so, woe is me, it's so tough, it's so horrible.
Yeah.
It's that balance of, we're all real, we all go through stuff. And I think that there's always when people have run businesses and especially brands like and businesses that you see a lot. So like say you see the name on top of the door, it's like that must be, they're untouchable, they're amazing, it's this, but actually there's one person behind that that's stressed, they're upset, they're struggling, they're having a good day, they're having a bad day. And find that balance is tough, but the only way you can find that balance is just going and going and going and trying.
Yeah.
And I'm preaching something that I don't do enough. I know that I don't do it enough, and it's a real action that we're trying to take to just tell the story and be like present.
Yeah.
But I know you need to do it. I just don't do it.
It's so hard. And I said, and I'm literally in this workshop I was in yesterday, I was like, don't forget to post 2 times a week and every day on stories. And I was like, whoops, haven't posted this week. Better get on with that this morning. Like, make a quick reel from yesterday. Like, it is difficult because you're doing you're doing your business. So it's so hard sometimes to slip out of it. I think because I do marketing, I know the importance of it. And I know that it's literally built my business for me. So, well, not for me, but I've contributed to that. So I know the importance of it. But you're right. Like, it's reducing barriers to purchase. It's a bit of a wanky marketing term, sorry, but I'll explain. So in order for someone to purchase something from you, whether it's a product or a service, you have to make it as easy as possible. So bad example, although we all still buy them, EasyJet. Go on to buy a flight. Oh, I'd like to go to this destination. Okay, where do you want to fly from? Oops, sorry, not there. Okay, fine. Do you want to purchase your seat? No. Are you sure you don't want to purchase your seat? No. Are you sure you don't want to purchase? Yes, I'm sure I don't want to purchase. Oh, do you want a bag? No. Do you want to add your skis? No, I'm going to Spain.
Yeah.
Do you want to add this? Do you want to add that?
And the smart little colours of, do you want to add your seat? Like, yes is in a, like the colours make you click
psychology
it.
of it, I
and
know.
it's just so smart that sometimes you think, sorry, I don't remember
I didn't even remember doing it. I know. So if I honestly counted it the other day because I did book flights to Spain, but it was like 15 things before I could actually get to click purchase. Now,
annoyingly, you don't have much of a choice.
Not with EasyJet, so they are very smart with that. But if it was I don't know, if you were Michael R. Peters, for example, in Bedford, and you just wanted to buy a TV, by stage 4, you'd fuck it off.
Yeah.
You're like, I'm done. I'm not wasting my time on this.
Yeah.
So what Danny does when she shows her space and she tells you where to park, that's another thing she does very, very carefully and very cleverly. She tells people that they can park nearby. Then she'll say, why don't you grab a coffee from number 7 on the way? And she'll take you through the journey, because it's weird going somewhere new if you are new, or booking somewhere that you haven't been before. So she's taking you on that journey to be like, look, here's a day in the life. This is what the salon looks like. When you walk in, someone will be at reception, and then I'll meet you, and then this is the room you're going to be in. So she reduces all of those anxieties about booking with her to make it super clear, super simple. So you go, yes, I'm going to purchase that.
And it's also going to get into a room with someone to be kind of semi-naked to have a massage.
Yeah.
That's pretty intense.
Yeah, it's very intimate.
For someone that you've never been there before, you don't know who they are, but she takes that completely away, and just her whole energy
Oh, she's beautiful.
is like,
We love you, Danny.
it's just so like calming, isn't it? That you're not worried about it anyway. But to get that across in a cold Instagram environment is tough.
Yeah, definitely.
But she's not doing no negative energy at all. She's not doing anything spectacularly different.
No.
She's just being authentic.
She's being her.
Taking a picture of her going for a walk in the woods with her dog, or whatever it may be. And it's not in a car, have a coffee, kind of doing a TikTok trend.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Oh my God, I hate TikTok. Sorry, I know people love it. I hate
Well, I was going to ask you kind of across platforms, I think there's generational differences. There's like, I didn't have TikTok. We were recruiting, so I got TikTok because I'm intrigued to see what are recruiters, if they're doing anything.
Yeah.
and I deleted it again because it's just buy this, buy this, buy this,
it's
buy
gone
this.
wild.
It was fun in
I
lockdown.
know.
People doing
Peaked.
dances.
Peaked in lockdown.
It was so much. I wasted so much time, but
Yeah.
everyone needed a lift.
Yeah.
Stupid dances or people doing whatever they're doing in the garden on furlough. But so what's your take on socials? Is Instagram the place to be?
It's king.
Do you think TikTok has a space or Facebook has a space anymore?
I think it has a space. I think I always say this to clients who go, oh, should I be on TikTok? I'm like, no offense, but you're a hairdresser in Bedford who owns their own salon. Amazing. Even if you go viral, what does that look like financially for you? Because actually, you don't want people from Glasgow, Hong Kong, Europe, wherever. They're not going to book your services because you can only cater for people that are in your area.
Yeah.
So I think Instagram for locality is very important. If you're service-based and you can have clients from further away, fine. Like that is a platform, but it's a generational thing for sure. It's a good way to build community, to have a laugh, banter, like all the things we've said that happened in lockdown. That was great, give you a lift. But it's definitely gone down the commercial route now. So I think it's TikTok Shop and things like that. It's maybe gone a little bit too commercial. Whereas Instagram's very much stayed plain sailing. You can shop on Instagram, very clever function from them. If you are an online retailer, you've got the shop button, again, reducing those barriers to purchase.
I buy so much on Instagram.
Do you?
Like just for advertising. Oh, that looks
Really?
cool. Click, buy that. The amount of times I'm like, I come into the office and I've got another to do. What's that? And I just saw it on Instagram.
Really?
I do it all the time.
I don't. But I don't know. I don't know why I don't, but I don't.
I think it's like, it's normally like clothes or a new bag or this or that. And it's like, oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
And then it just feeds me another one. They know what they're doing.
Oh, yeah. The algorithm.
Yeah.
I say to the most of my clients I work with are small businesses, one person agencies or providers, and I just think you don't need it. It's another platform
That's
to think
the thing,
about.
and you have so much content.
Different strategy completely.
Yeah. Would you use the same strategy so what about Facebook? What's your thoughts on Facebook?
Facebook is good if you are a service or product provider. I'll give you a couple of examples, but mainly for the recommendation piece. So the older generation is still on Facebook, and someone will say, looking for someone to do me a lovely fine line tattoo. Can anyone recommend me? Only studio, only studio, only studio. So people will tag in a business that they like. Instagram doesn't have that community function. You've got broadcast, but you have to be interested already.
Yeah.
This allows you to find new clients. Same with hairdressers, beauticians, anyone who's in that field. With my yoga, someone from Lavender's Nursery, which is a childminders nursery in Bedford, said, I really want to offer yoga sessions for my staff as like a thank you. You'd be paid, but it would be free for the staff members, so it'd be a flat rate. Just looking to give them some time out after a busy day. Can anyone recommend anyone? Bam, bam, bam. Lots of different yoga providers in Bedford. I sat back and watched it and I was like, okay. I got tagged in. I was like, thank you. Wow, all these people who have recommended me. And the lady messaged me and she was like, you were the only yoga teacher who didn't recommend yourself. Everyone else recommended you.
Nice.
So I'd like to meet with you. And I taught there for a year. It was my decision to leave afterwards because it got a bit much with running the business and doing that weekly. But I got to go and teach their class. So I got business literally through Facebook because lots of different people from different areas of my life were like, oh, you should use Lauren. Oh, Lauren's great. I love her sessions. This would be perfect for her.
Yeah.
She's just had a little boy. She knows how it is. It was such
sure.
an amazing platform. So work smart, not hard. Link Instagram or Facebook so you don't have to do two platforms at once.
Yeah.
But if you can have a presence on there, then why not?
Cool. I think as well, that whole piece you said about then referring you, it's obviously the work you've done with that, but it's also the presence that you have for people to know, because you might have been a yoga instructor, but maybe without your socials and everything else, they might not know the wider picture of what you do to refer that. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, definitely.
So that kind of speaks into what you were saying before around just being consistent and posted. I think as well, we spoke about, like, Lydia was a really good example because she's got a really good following. And then we spoke about as well, consistency is something that I talk to clients about all the time.
Never do yourself.
Well, I never do it. They push back on it a lot.
Okay.
And it's like, well, what I want to do is I do 2 posts a month because I'm pushing for an event. Don't bother.
No, it's not going to get you anywhere.
I've got an event coming up in this time. I'm going to do a month before. Don't bother. I want to do 2 posts sporadically, or I want to do 10 posts. How much is it to get 10 posts? Or how much is? And it's kind of like, just, you're missing the point. It just doesn't work like that.
No.
You don't send out 10 emails to people and get 10 bits of business. You send out, if you're like, to that example, you spend thousands of emails, you might get one person reply. And that's how it's the same concept. And I keep banging my head up against the brick wall with consistency. And I don't do it. And we're that's a big conscious effort for us now to push that. So I'm not saying that I'm perfect in this context at all, but it's so important to just keep going. And also, like, it doesn't need to be amazing every time. I think that's my issue. I don't want that post up because it's not perfect.
Yeah.
Or I didn't post anything of our last office because it was too small. It's like, well, that's real. That's our office. So on that point of consistency, how do you feel? What would you say people are trying to start their business, trying to grow their business? They've got to post. They feel they've got to post every day. They feel like they're not different. They feel like they're not doing different. They're not standing out. What's your take on that struggle? What would your conversation be around? I need to post every day. I don't feel like I know what to post about. I don't know how we're different. I don't know how we haven't got an amazing studio that's better. We haven't got we're not offering something drastically different.
Yeah.
So what do I talk about?
Talk about your services all the time, like what it is you're offering. On that point, sometimes I try to visualize with clients slightly differently. If I've had clients the same, where they're like, oh, I've got an event next week, I'll post about it once. I'm like, what? No, 6 to 8 weeks minimum. Like, we need to be talking about this way in advance because people need to see it 6, 7, 8 times.
Yeah.
I use a visualization of, imagine you're standing at the end of your road and you've got 10 neighbours. You have a megaphone. You're like, hi, I'm Lauren. I was about to say my address then. Oh my God. Could you imagine? Literally nearly said it.
I live in a house.
I live in a house with a blue door. Great. One person might hear you. Then you go out the second day and you're like, hi, I'm Lauren. I live at the house with the blue door. Okay, great. Third day, someone's like, bloody hell, here she is again. Hi, I'm Lauren. I live in the house with the blue door. By day 4, everyone on that road is going to know that you live in the house with a blue door. And then if someone asks, oh, where does Lauren live? Oh, she lives in the house with a blue door. Because it's in your subconscious because you've said it that many times. And it does need to be that way, especially with services. If you're a service or even with products, you need to be talking about it all the time. And it's tiring and it's boring, but you have to get your message across. You can interject it with things about your personal life. Don't go too personal, but like little bits and pieces, because people buy from people and people only buy from people that they trust and that they've built a relationship with. And I don't mean like talking to people every day in the DMs or comments, but engaging with them and keep reminding them of your services. What is it that you offer? When are you open if you have got opening hours? Where's your location if you are location based? Like, just keep with the lovely rhythm. If you have a flow of posts, again, wanky marketing term, sorry, but pillars, if you think about your pillars, or themes is a nice word I like to use to replace pillars. If you think about the themes of your business and you talk about theme A one day, theme B the next day, theme C the next day, maybe a fourth, I'd say 3 to 4, keep with that rhythm, because people then will see you and they get familiar with it. And it does a weird thing with your nervous system where it feels really familiar and it feels comforting. You know, like if you go into Tesco or whatever your local supermarket is and you know the layout, like you know where the bread is, you know where the sugar is, you know where the milk is. And then you go somewhere different, you go to another Tesco.
Oh, you hate it. I hate going to all the shops.
What the hell's going on? I don't know where anything is.
You feel disorientated, you feel lost.
Yeah.
I get that. They're doing it on purpose to make you buy more.
Oh, yeah, definitely. But even if it's like 2 Tesco, their layout will be completely different depending on size and everything else, fine. But you just feel like, oh God, and your nervous system goes like, I don't know how long I'm going to be in here because I don't know where the milk is and it's not easy to find. It's exactly the same with social media. If you constantly feed them that lovely flow and rhythm of going, I'm going to talk about me today, then I'm going to talk about my services, then I'm going to talk about a testimonial or a feedback. So it's like a nice little loop. And then I'm going to repeat that. It makes it easier for you in your mind to go, I know what to post because today is Monday and I need to talk about my theme 1. Today is Thursday, I'm going to talk about theme 2. So it helps you to understand what to post, but it also helps your audience with that too, because it creates that nice rhythm and familiarity the expectations of what you're going to get. Danny, sorry again, but Wellness Wednesday. You know on a Wednesday she's going to post Wellness Wednesday and you go, oh, it's Wednesday.
Yeah.
I feel great.
And the thing is as well, part of that is you kind of take a little bit away from that as well. Like maybe I need to go for a walk. Yeah. Maybe I need to do something for me as well. So I do envy those. Every time she's going for a nice walk, I think I
need to take a Wednesday off.
So how do you so just talking through the process, right? So you test the market and you kind of thought, there's legs here, there's something here.
Yeah.
Like, how do you then, there's the, I know the question I want to ask, I'm just trying to articulate it. You know, when you kind of, for me, there's a conversation in my head that it went from being I'm trialing this to see if it works to now this is a business. Do you know what I mean? Like, where was that turning point for you? Was it after, like, quite early when you?
No.
And I also want to understand as well, how did you? Did the first ones that you got, first customers that you got, clients that you got, was that because there was referral onwards?
Yeah.
Were you reaching out to them directly?
No.
Were you? What do we like? Just that process, because I think a lot of people don't know how to start, scared of starting, and then saying, "Well, I've got this idea, but then what?"
Yeah.
Or I've got one client,
Yeah.
and like scaling that up to 2, 3, 4, and then managing my time to do that all, because that's the hard part as well. Is you've like I say, you're saying you've got a lot now.
Yeah.
Then how do you manage your time, and when do you know what to give up? Okay, I stopped doing that weekly because I'm doing more of this, and it's just, like managing that.
Oh my God, it never stops.
As well. So there's a lot of questions in there,
okay.
but it's like processing that is a scary thing when you've never done it before.
Yeah.
It's kind of the point that I'm going with this is you've gone from working in a job where you start at 9, finish at 5.
Yeah.
You know exactly what you're going to get the next day.
Yeah.
And some days you've got loads going on, then you haven't. And then is this even like even now I don't feel like I've got a proper business. Do you know what I mean? I feel like at some point the wheels could fall off, and I realised actually I was just riding a little bit of a wave of luck.
Yeah.
So when does that point turn? Then how do you manage that once it gets there?
I think I didn't believe that I had a business until I turned 1. Like, 1 for me was like, yes, I've done it. I've done a year. It was the same with my little boy when he turned 1. I was like, guys, I did it. He's alive.
He's still here.
Guys, look at this little cherub. And it was the same with business. I think it was a milestone that I wasn't sure if I was going to hit, because even at 6 months, I went, yeah, I'm going to do this. Well, then it's January, and I took a bit of time off for Christmas, as everyone does. Obviously, as you know, that impacts your financials. So I think what I'm trying to say is it's still a jungle in my head. I know my capacity a little bit better. Definitely times where I should have said no to stuff and said yes, because it's what we do, right?
Yeah.
Then got burnout. Then I was like, shit. Okay, should have listened to my own advice.
That's
here.
really tough as well, because it's really tough to say no. But there's two things like tough to say no to. One, when you probably think you can't like have the capacity.
Yeah, squeeze it in.
And 2, when it's probably not right for you.
Yeah, doesn't align.
Probably feel like you need to take it as well. So it's really difficult. And then early stages, I took on stuff that I just shouldn't have taken on.
Yeah.
Time wasn't right for me.
Yeah.
The opportunity wasn't right for me, but I felt like I don't have much of a choice. In hindsight, I would have done that again anyway.
Yeah.
Because I learned a lot from what I don't want to do.
Yeah.
But yeah, that burnout is not fun.
It's tough because you don't get sick pay. I mean, now I put money aside for it. But this is my point, is it's all learning. I'd been in corporate my entire life. I'd been working since I was 15, always worked for someone else, always on their terms, always on their time, being told what to do. Fine. Then it comes to you and you're like, well, I get to decide a little bit, or I don't get to decide because I need the money in and I know that client's going to bring that money in. And it is just all about learning. I still don't feel like I have a proper business sometimes. It's just, I think I've just had to throw myself into it all and just go, this is what it is. I've only just started feeling more comfortable about saying, oh, I run a marketing agency. Like even yesterday I was at my office, which is based at the rugby club, and it was in the evening. I had an evening appointment and someone came up to me and was like, oh, I've never seen this open. Like, what is it? Sorry, it's a guy. She didn't realise. Rugby boy. And I was like, oh, it's my office. He's like, oh, what do you do there then? And I was like, oh, I run a marketing agency. But I like actually said it. And I hadn't said that before, like it's properly weird, to someone that I didn't know. Like when you speak to friends and family, oh yeah, I own my own business, da, da, da. But I was like, oh, and he was like, that's pretty cool. I was like, yeah, thanks. Felt nice.
It is weird, isn't it?
But it was weird. It was weird.
You can't process it in your head. And someone says it's like, oh, that's really cool.
And you're like, oh, is it?
It is pretty cool, actually. It is quite cool.
Yeah.
But you can't, I think everyone I've spoken to in this podcast have been so in it. So like thinking about today or what happens next or next week or whatever, that they don't sit back and think, this is pretty cool.
You got to reflect sometimes. And that's what I say to clients all the time. Like I do a lot of power hours with them, like working on strategy and what to do next. And my first paragraph to all of them is always, first of all, well fucking done. You own a business, it's going well, and you want to scale. Or you've owned a business for 10 years, you've done so well so far, what's the next step?
Yeah.
And I always have that moment of going, before I even get into our action plan, please just take a moment to think, this is pretty epic, actually.
Yeah.
I get to work for myself. I get Fridays off with my son. I get to pick my little boy up at 2:30. Like, great. We've created a life that's allowed us to do that.
Yeah.
I think we don't give ourselves enough credit sometimes as entrepreneurs to just sit back and go, you know what? Pretty proud of that, actually.
Yeah, and it's also, I think it's also tough to not. It doesn't come naturally to a lot of people to. It's a conscious effort to say, yeah, I've done all right here. Like it's all come from your head, or you've kind of just kept going, and you're so busy just going with the next day, the next day, the next day, and you don't think, well, actually, I started out, I was in the garage and I was freezing, and it was just me and a laptop, and now we've got multiple clients in different spaces, and we're doing podcasts, and we've got doing this, that, and the other, and you're like, that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
If I saw where I am now when I started, I'd be like, this is pretty sweet.
Yeah.
But I never let myself think that.
Yeah. I did an International Women's Day campaign in March, and I really wanted the women to understand how proud they should be of themselves. So I did a photography shoot with Emily Bateman and took photos, obviously, of the businesswomen, and I did an exhibition at the Grange in Milton Ernest. But before that, I asked them to bring a photo of themselves as a little girl. So I was like, bring a photo from when you're like 7 to 12, like that kind of age. So you're not tiny, like you kind of understand. And it's that age where someone goes, what do you want to be when you're older? Like that kind of age. And they were like, yeah, sure, dig one out. Like, not really sure. And they came into the exhibition and I was like, right, I'd like you to take a picture of yourself with your picture of you as a little girl.
That's a really cool idea.
And they were like, oh, okay, like still no idea. And I was like, just think about how proud oh, I got goosebumps, sorry. I still love it so much because like what I saw from the women was them going, oh God, like I saw that moment of feeling pride.
Yeah.
And I was like, when do we ever do that? Not just women, but when does anyone step back and go, God, if little old Lauren, when she was 6, knew that I was running my own agency and on a podcast today, she'd be going, whoa, we got somewhere. This is great. Good for you.
Really
and we just don't. So always bring it back to your younger self and go, you own your own business. You hire people. You're running a podcast. Like this is amazing. And also because you've got a son as well, I know. I always think when Arch goes to school and they have this, so what do your mum and dad do?
Yeah.
He's like, oh, my mum runs her own marketing agency and does yoga. My dad runs a rugby club. He's a CrossFit coach. Like, what?
Yeah.
Whose mum and dad does that?
Yeah,
no one's.
That's cool.
Everyone just works in finance. Like, no offense to finance, but do you know what I mean? And I'm like, it's so cool for Arch to be like, yeah, that's what my mum and dad do.
That's exactly what I thought. And there's two things on that as well. I think that one, I want him to be like proud of what I'm doing. Like my dad runs a business and does this and does this. But also I want him to see that I'm doing that and think that's cool, or that's hard work, or that's this, or that's that, and think it's a bit of a tangent, but I wasn't very good at school. I didn't realise I was dyslexic and ADHD and all this stuff until a lot later on.
Yeah.
And I just out of lessons most of the time. And I just thought, I didn't really know what I wanted to do. I didn't know what I was going to like excel in, or if anything, I thought I was just going to find a job and whatever. So I think that, like I say, to that reflection point, I didn't think I was ever capable of running a business or doing that. And so I think there's a lot of people that have it in them.
Oh, totally.
And I think the word entrepreneur, I have a bit of a weird feeling about.
I actually hate it. As I said, I gave myself the ick, sorry.
But it's a bit of a weird one, right? Because it's like, it feels to me like the energy around it for what you see on TV and it's something that you're just born with. You're an entrepreneur, you're not. And I don't think that's true.
No,
I think if you find something enough that you love enough, and you find something you want to do enough, and you find something with enough passion, everything else comes with it.
Totally.
Or you work with people that can help you with that. Like if you got a passion for whatever it may be, photography, that you can take that to be an entrepreneur and run a business or multiple businesses because you don't have to do it all. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, totally. And I think I was a corp girl forever. worked in corporate my whole life, and I always thought that was my path, and I loved like appraisals and like, yeah, you're doing well and climb the ranks and la la la. But I never thought I could do it on my own, never had that confidence until I was pushed, and I was like, well, gonna have to find it from somewhere. But it's true, and I think that especially at school, I do some work for Bedford Blues Foundation, and we work with schools who have children who are suspended a lot, detention, expelled, all the rest of it. They take them out of lessons one afternoon a week, and they deliver sessions, whether it's paddleboarding or camping or just different things outside of the norms of education. I went to deliver a workshop, a little bit about me and about what I do, and then do a yoga class afterwards, so a 2-hour workshop. And I rocked up, and I should have understood the brief maybe before I went, but I read the room quite quickly. I was like, oh, okay, we've got like 4 teachers in here. Kids are going to be riot, but let's go, big challenge. Yoga will chill them out, mellow them out, all the rest of it. So I started my session. I was like, oh, so does anyone want to know what they do when they're older? Bear in mind, these kids are like 13, 14. Everyone's like, no, hate school, hate this, hate that. Well, I was like, oh, tough crowd. This is a big challenge.
Yeah.
So I was like, oh, I run my own business. Oh, what's your business? So start talking about it. And I was like, I could see their eyes light up. And I was like, right, scrap the presentation. Let's go.
Yeah.
Who wants to run their own business? Oh, maybe. A few like, yeah. I was like, right, again, scrap this. Bit of paper. Write down your passions and your hobbies. What lights you up? When you get out of bed in the morning, what goes, yes. Don't say TikTok. What, is it going for a walk, going for a run, fitness? Is it reading? Is it anime? Is it YouTube? What is it? All of a sudden, business plans on paper.
Yeah.
And it was like, we're onto something here. So I was like, right, turn your passions and your hobbies. How could you make a business out of that?
I love that.
And they were writing down. The teachers were like, I have never seen them write this much.
Yeah.
Because they were like, here. You could see their brains going. And I was like, we have a room here full of people who can run their own businesses. It's just that school isn't the right environment for them.
There's a couple of things there. One, I really totally agree with that. I was chatting to my brother about and his girlfriend were talking about starting a business, and I was like, I always feel like people when they start a business feel like they have to really fit into something that's there.
Fit into the mold.
But it's, what do you enjoy doing? What do you get passion? What gets you excited?
Yeah.
For me, I started in sales because I just like talking to people.
Yeah.
I like talking to people. I feel like I can build relationships well. I feel like I can understand and relate. So I felt like I could then understand their needs and set. That's where it came naturally, not naturally because I worked on it, but that's kind of felt like where my passion was.
Yeah.
But then also the point of school is it frustrates me so much that you're learning about angles or whatever, but you don't learn there's I don't feel like there's a setup that encourages to start a business. And then when you start a business, there's no support for where you should go, what you should do, who you should talk to, how you should talk to them, what you need, what you don't need, what business rates are, what VAT is, what if you get a loan, how do you pay that back?
Yeah.
And just that room, that incubator of ideas that someone that's gone from I hate school, I hate work, I hate doing anything to I could really do this.
Yeah. And you saw the belief in them of like a lot of them don't have that confidence. They've lost all of it because they've just been worn down from school because they constantly told off, constantly pulled out of class, constantly put to the head teacher. They're just completely worn down. And I was like, you can do this. Like, if I can do, I had £0 in the bank. I was being pushed out of a job that I really loved, and I did it. I just had a baby. Like, FYI, I didn't sleep for a good 18 months. Like, I was so sleep deprived. And I was like, I did it. So if I can do it, you can totally do it.
And that's so true to, like, I have not met anybody in every walk of life, in, like, professional walk of life, that a couple of people, but no one's gone, Jesus, they're amazingly smart. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, they're not, in a really nice way, the people that I've had on the podcast or worked with haven't gone, oh, they're a genius. They're just normal people that have worked hard, that know what they want to achieve, how not necessarily how to achieve it, but they want to get there. And that's all it needs to be. You don't have to be a genius or a mathematician or, I mean, accounts, I don't even know, that's why I get an accountant for.
Exactly, I was going to say outsource.
Like, I'm not good at numbers and working this out. I spend probably more than we should on things, I know that. But you don't, and I think that there's more of a need for, and that's why I want to talk in these podcasts about just having that drive and ambition and confidence just to fail.
Yeah, totally. It's okay to fail. And it's hard. I felt like I'd failed at my corporate job. That's the bit that hurt the most. I was like, why don't they want me back? Like, I was climbing the ranks, like quite senior at the time, been there a long time, well respected in the business. I was like, why are you not wanting me back? Like, it felt like they didn't want me back. That felt like a massive failure. But then you learn it's okay to fail. And it put me in this direction. And this is where I am now. And I wouldn't be sat here today if it didn't happen. And there have been different bits of pieces and throughout my life where you failed. And it's like, actually, I'd respect someone so much more if they tried something and they failed than if they never tried it again.
Yeah.
Like I say to clients a lot of the time, I'm sure everyone in life has gone, oh, maybe that's a business idea, or thought, oh, maybe I could do that. Oh, well.
Yeah.
End of.
Yeah.
Never actually pursued it. Whereas I have so much respect for people who have literally plucked an idea out of their brain and gone, that's what I'm going to do and this is how I'm going to do it.
Yeah.
And they make money from it.
You ever read the book Big Magic?
No, I have it on my bookshelf though.
It's one of those ones that's basically what you just said. Everyone's got magic in their head.
Yeah.
Everyone's got this bit of magic, but all these ideas and things, you just got to take them out and run with them.
You've got to do it.
And if you don't do that, they just die.
Yeah.
And they die so much that you get to a point where you ain't got any left.
No, stop. I had this conversation this morning about AI and I'm really genuinely terrified. Like, terrifies me to my core, especially having a little boy as well, that creativity will go because we don't use it, because people are starting to become reliant, not everyone, but the reliance on AI for come up with this post for me, write this post for me. And I'm like, no, just write it yourself.
Yeah, that's a really good point to touch on, because I was talking to people that I never thought would be using it.
Yeah.
So, like, my mum is not big on tech. She's not obviously iPhones, all this sort of stuff. Fine, but she's not AI and all this sort of stuff. And she's like, yeah, I use this for my emails. And I think that's great. And there's a place for it, and that's great. But a lot of people like just replace it for create this asset, create this post.
Yeah.
And that's social media.
Yeah.
That's managing my socials. And it's just not true.
No. There are already things put in place to stop or to identify things like ChatGPT, which I think are a good thing, because I think it will make us quite lazy as a nation. But the part that terrifies me is that we've got this little muscle in our brain that is our magic, our creativity. And if we don't use it, it's just going to go. Like, I feel when I've had a creative day, if I've like literally got like pen and paper out and I'm like this idea and like just try and come up with ideas, it trains my brain to be more creative, and then the ideas come and come. Whereas if I'm like, oh, admin, must do on my admin today, must do my tax return, then I come to think of an idea for someone, I'm like, I'm out.
Nothing,
I've got nothing. And I think the more that people rely on AI to come up with ideas, even like business names and stuff. I know clients are like, oh yeah, ChatGPT name my business. I'm like, okay, great, but where are you? Where's your brain?
Yeah.
Please
and
use
also
it.
you've not gone through that journey of loving
exactly.
it.
It's just someone's come up for it.
I went through loads, and I thought this one was like True Path. So I was like, we want to show the true path to whatever it is that we're supporting with.
Yeah.
And I love it. And I stand by it and I believe it. But if we just spat something, that's
that'll
all right.
do. Yeah, I know.
That'll do. That reads okay. That looks all right.
Yeah.
And I think, again, same on socials. I could chuck that through ChatGPT. Well, you could, but everyone's going to know it.
Yeah, that's
everyone's
going to
really
it's
be like,
so identifiable.
That's obvious.
Yeah. I got an email today and I was like, this is just ChatGPT.
You just know it. You can feel you don't speak like that. You've got the big dash in there.
Oh my God, classic.
All the emojis that you'd never use.
All the ticks.
Yeah.
Tick.
And you think, if you're gonna do that, at least spend 5 minutes getting rid of the obvious stuff.
I know.
But I get what you're saying. There's a space for it. I'm not the best at writing emails and articulating sometimes. So putting notes, that reads better. I'll put that in my own work. I think there's a space for it.
I've got a 10K in September and I haven't run 10K since I had Archie. And I was like, I can't be bothered to figure out how many runs I need to do a week. So I was like, can you let me know a training plan for 10K? That's in September. And I follow it and that's great. So
I will say please and thank you, though.
Please. Someone told me the other day, I don't know if this is true.
About how much energy.
How much energy it uses. The guy was like, stop saying please.
So I saw this thing as well, that every 200 it uses something like 20 litres of water.
Whoa. What, every time you say please?
No, every time you 200 words.
Oh, fine.
Because they're cooling all the servers down.
I know, wild.
Yeah.
You'd never think that, would you?
No.
But yeah.
So what I do want to talk about is 1 year. How did you celebrate 1 year?
just bought myself a little balloon. And number one, went to Hobbycraft. Couldn't be bothered to get it filled with helium, so I did a little self-inflate. No, I mean, I did do that. I have a good pal called Dan Lucas who I worked with at Brew Point, actually. I met him when he was at Warner's Gin, and we used to sell Warner's Gin, so he was their like brand ambassador at the time. Then he came to work for us in a sales role, then left as I was going on maternity leave. But we've kept in contact, and he's a private chef, and that's his kind of business. So he works full time at the moment, but building the side hustle. And I said to him, I was like, I did want to go out for dinner. Having a baby, you know how it is. It's like, oh, you could go and stay at mum and dad's, but the bag, the monitor, the bedtime, the disruption. Like,
and then you're thinking, is he going to bed all right?
Is he going to be sick? Classic, be sick just before bed. I was like, oh. So, Dan came to our house and he cooked us a lovely 3-course meal.
That's nice.
Had it in our own house.
Happy days.
He shared a beer with us. Tom knows him as well. Like, it was just a really lovely evening just to be able to.
And it needs to be celebrated. I haven't celebrated any of them.
No.
I think it's 4 years.
When are you 5?
Next year.
Big party.
Yeah, I haven't celebrated. I've kind of gone, oh, it's 4 years today.
Oh.
That's kind of been it. And I don't think, again, that reflection, but and it's only really like, to be like 100% transparent, it's only in the last 6-12 months that my business has been really like businessy, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Like the first 3 years, it was just finding my way through it, just getting by. And then having my son, it was just that it was do what I need to do in the day to then go and be a dad at home. And it wasn't a driving force.
Yeah.
Now he's at nursery and all that sort of stuff. It's a bit easier.
Yeah.
But I think it is important to celebrate it. And I feel like now I'm kind of ready to, I don't know, I wasn't ready to celebrate it. Do you know what I mean? I wasn't ready to think it was proper and it was real and I was doing it. And I think there's a lot of imposter syndrome.
Yeah. Oh, the worst. It's the devil.
Yeah.
It's there every day.
Yeah.
So bad.
It's interesting that there's not many people I spoke to that don't have it.
Everyone has it. Everyone has it. All day, every day. Anytime I go into something like today, I'm like, am I good enough? Why does Luke want to talk to me? Like it's just always there, but you just have to go, no, shut up.
Yeah.
Just try and do what you do. Because you don't get the opportunities that you're not supposed to have, I always think. So someone has reached out to you for work, for a podcast, for whatever it might be, for an interview, whatever, because they think and know that you're capable of it. Yeah. If they didn't, you wouldn't get those opportunities.
Yeah,
so that's what a lot of my clients say, like, oh, imposter syndrome is so real. Yeah, it is. It's there every single day. But in the back of your mind, just be like, no, I am capable of this, because if I wasn't, then I wouldn't be doing it right now.
I think there's also a balance of imposter syndrome, challenging that and then going out of your comfort zone.
Yeah.
Like every client I think we've taken on, there's an aspect of it that we haven't done before.
It's exciting.
Yeah, like I would say 60 to 80% we're comfortable with, done, we're good. That's the main pitch of what we do. And then there's like a little sprinkler on top. It's like, we can also do this if you want.
Yeah.
And we've never done it.
Yeah.
And I'm always transparent about that.
Yeah.
But if you don't just get out your comfort zone,
you have to.
or you sign a client and the contract comes back and you're like,
yeah.
now I'm going to have to do it all and deliver on it.
Yeah.
And then the next day you get crack on and it's
exciting.
It's kind of, there's always something there, but it's just, how do you manage that little niggly thing in your head that just says, you can't do it?
You just have to tell them to fuck it off. But you do. You could be so driven down. And I think a lot of people don't start businesses because they've got massive imposter syndrome. And it's something that everyone has every day. I don't care who you are, if you're the king, like well, maybe not, he's a bad example because he's born into it, but you know, like Jeff Bezos or whoever, like they're all still going to have it. Yeah, they're arrogant pricks,
mistakes
but
and everything
they'll
as
have
well.
it. Yeah, and it will be going, God, I'm not ready for this opportunity, or you know, the next thing that's coming. But you do just have to be like, no, I am, and just that self-belief. And it takes a lot of work and a lot of time. And I think things like yoga and whatnot really help to bring that through. But you just have to tell it to fuck off.
Yeah, I can't wait to edit the podcast when you say, when we get newer clients and you say, tell them to fuck off.
Have I signed a contract? Can I bail out?
So what do you think your next year looks like?
Oh, interesting question. Just want to keep going, doing what I do. I started something a couple of months ago called the Female Founders, which I want to really expand on this year. So it's offering free and accessible events to female founders in not just Bedfordshire, but mainly Bedfordshire, because that's where I host the events. Just come together and have a chat, really, and just to the fat, highs and lows of business, meet each other. Again, try and reduce that imposter syndrome by being able to talk about what it is that you do or what you're wanting to do if you're wanting to start a business. Lydia and I have got some exciting plans coming up for more workshops. We just delivered 2 workshops that we really enjoyed. Lydia was like, I could do this every day. It's like, let's not do it every day, but let's do a few more. And yeah, just see where next year takes me, really. I've got a lovely, solid client base. I've got a couple of new inquiries here, there. So just trying to manage the jungle that is capacity and being a mum and being a partner and all the different pieces of the puzzle.
It's capacity, deliverables, and future. Like they're holding them all together.
Yeah,
they don't fit.
No. And in July, I was a little bit worried because August is quiet, because August generally everyone goes on holiday. Also, I'm going on holiday, so I've got to take that into consideration. And I was going, fuck. Like, and I had to have a really serious conversation with Tom to be like, I don't think I'm going to get anything over my monthly retainers, which like just covers the mortgage, just FYI. And we're still paying nursery until September when the funding comes in. And he's like, yeah, it's cool. I've got you. I'm like, okay, thank you. But I just really needed to tell you that because I wasn't sure. And then this week it's like, so-and-so's popped out the woodwork and so-and-so needs this because they're delivering a new service. And it's like, oh, okay, it's okay. Yeah. Literally going 24 hours after that conversation going, you know, I had that chat yesterday. I think I'll be all right, actually. Right, But you just don't know.
And I think that's a really good point because they happen both ways. Yeah. You have a really good day and you're like, do you know what? I think I'm good.
Yeah.
And then the next day you think, how's that happened?
Yeah, literally. Someone goes, oh, I only need half of that now. And
yeah.
Like, oh, okay.
Yeah. And I think that's the only real struggle, not only real struggle, but working with companies that are still working out what they want and what they need and how much they want it. Yeah. You can't be necessarily reliant on everything that you think. Yeah. The amount of times you're like, I'm going to get this month. No, not.
Never works.
Yeah. And we're quite lucky that we've got some longer term customers that we work with for a while. It's the same kind of same invoice every month. So you kind of know this is where we are. Yeah. So we can kind of dance around here. If it's going to be this, we're okay. Yeah. But there was a long time, like I say, that's only in the last sort of 12 months or so. Yeah. Before that, it was, okay, how am I going to pay this? Yeah. How am I going to do this? How am I going to get that? Or like, I need to talk to this person about the fact that my invoice was due 3-4 weeks ago and I'm not going to be able to pay my bills. Yeah. And finding that balance between, you don't want to challenge people too much. My invoice needs paying. Yeah. Because they were like, okay, well, we didn't. At the start, I was like, well, do they even need me? Oh, no. So if I chase it too much, they're going to be like, well, don't worry about it then.
Worst.
Yeah.
The worst part of the job.
It is. Because you're like, well, I've done the work. And then at the start, this is something that I would advise everybody to get out of their head. At the start, I was thinking, well, maybe they're not paying me because it wasn't good enough.
Oh, no, that's not the case. And they just forget.
Yeah, people forget or they have stuff going on.
Yeah.
So I think, it's not my podcast to give advice, that's why I talk to people, but I would advise people not to just, you've got to believe in what you've done and what you've delivered, not second guess yourself. Yeah. And I was like, maybe they didn't want it anymore, or maybe it wasn't good enough, or I had a client that didn't pay the last 3 invoices, which is a good chunk of money, just disappeared on me. And I did it, and that's a lesson learned as well. I shouldn't have just carried on working. I was trying to do the right thing. I was still finding my feet, still working it out. And I thought, did I just not do a good enough job? Or did I not deliver? And I was like, no, they just didn't pay me. Yeah. That's just not cool. Yeah. Don't be so nice, Luke. Yeah. Like that just wasn't cool. Yeah. And that's the other thing as well, is it's turning that business head on that's actually that wasn't cool, and I'm going to tell you that wasn't cool. Yeah. Not just, oh, it's okay, don't worry about it.
Yeah, no.
I'm the one that's just going to stress.
Good piece of advice my friend Chloe gave me. So Chloe does a lot of the rebrand stuff that I do. She's my designer, and her dad is her accountant, but she doesn't tell anyone that. And his name's Phil, or maybe it's not Phil. Sorry, Chloe, for listening. But let's say Phil, and she's like, "Oh, I'll get Phil to chase up the invoice." So he emails from his accounting email. It's just her dad. Yeah. Or some people don't even have that. They're like, "My accountant's chasing me." Don't have an accountant. But it just gives you that front, doesn't it? To not be like,
I thought about that. I think I'm going to get an accounts at email address and just be like, we're waiting for these on accounts.
100%. Not a bad shout.
Yeah, I think that's, I mean, we're quite lucky at the moment. We're in a position where our clients are paying on time.
Yeah, touch with me too.
So let's carry on that way. So what I also wanted to understand a little bit is, what's the differences and what learnings have you taken? So you had the corporate world where you kind of, like you say, is consistent. You know where you are. You're coming in, coming out, growing through the business.
Yeah.
What learnings have you had? What did you think that you were gonna like? What are you surprised by in doing like your own business that you thought that you were gonna? You're surprised that you learned. Does that make sense?
Yeah, that's interesting. I think the fact that I could do it.
Yeah.
I was so part of a team. I was so people pleasery. Like, I was the social queen. I'd organise the Christmas. Like, will you organise a Christmas party for 250 people? Pick me. Yeah, sure. I'll do that alongside my full-time job. Like, oh, so-and-so's birthday. Don't forget. Like, I would do everyone's birthday. We had 12 people in the team at the time. I had a birthday spreadsheet and I would do everyone's birthday and I'd be collecting the money and I'd be going to buy the present. And then I was like, towards the end, I was a bit more like, what am I doing?
Yeah.
The person before can do the person's after the birthday. Like, but that was how I was. And I think I was so worried about going alone because I thought I'd be so lonely. Like terrified to be on my own. So I think the biggest surprise is the fact that I've done it and that I'm doing things like this and people are interested in my story and that I'm not, I think I hid behind a team quite a lot.
Yeah.
Whereas now it's like I don't have a team. Like I have some people that I do some stuff with, but mainly it's me.
Yeah.
And I think I'm surprised. I think also I feel like sometimes, it's hard, isn't it? The balance between parenting and work. But I do feel like I've started to get that now. Like I am much better at saying no to stuff or being like, oh, I can't see you because I pick up Arch at this time or whatever. So, and I can really switch from like business to mum quite easily. I found it really hard when Archie was a little bit younger, but now he can talk a bit more and is more mobile and stuff. I find that way easier, but I can be like clients at the back of my mind. I'm mum mode until 6:37. And then if I need to do some stuff, I can.
The last thing I'd like to ask is advice you'd give on, I don't like saying like, what do you regret or what you've done differently? Because you get to where you are because of those mistakes. So, but what advice would you give someone that regardless of their business that they're starting, they want to build their socials, they want to build their name, they want to, or test the market like you did at the start. What sort of like advice or tips would you give to them in that? Today I've got the idea. I say I'm going to go for it. I'm saying I'm going to give it a go. What would you say to them?
Just fucking do it to start because people backtrack as well. They're like, I've had this idea, I'm going to do it. Oh, no, I'm not. Yeah. Like I bet if you take my phone, I've probably got like 5 social accounts of different businesses that like I maybe thought at one time I was going to do and then haven't done. So that's definitely number one. Just do it and just try it. It's okay to fail. It's also okay to learn along the way. So to make mistakes like we were saying and not get it right at the start. And if you've got a business that isn't marketing, don't be afraid to research or reach out to other people, speak to other people, network. I hate the word networking, but you know what I mean. Come to community events, meet other people who have got small businesses because they're happy to talk to you. I've never met a small business that's gone, oh no, I couldn't possibly talk to you about how to run business. Even if it's in your field or your industry, I feel like Bedfordshire especially, there's not that element of competitiveness. Like yes, you are in competition with other businesses, but actually everyone's willing to talk about it and to give advice and to share tips and stuff, which is really lovely. And then consistency. It's got to be number one. You've got to talk about it all the bloody time until you're sick of it and other people are sick of it. But then they'll know what you do. Yeah,
for sure. Cool. They're nice, concise tips.
Good at least.
Thank you very much. We're going to have to wrap up because the cameras are not having it.
It's all good.
They're not playing
Just
ball.
a little bit burnt out.
Yeah. So anything you want to sort of talk about that's coming up that you want to talk about, or talk about your socials that you can follow you on? Yeah,
so I'm at The Little Marketing Company on Instagram, and I'm Lauren Tryon on LinkedIn if anyone wants to connect.
Cool. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much.
Thanks for coming in, and we will look forward to seeing all the stuff that you're doing soon and that exciting stuff that you're not telling us about with Lydia. Thank you very much.
Thank you.